Hello students, welcome back to the English classroom. In the last session, we did the first part of the poem, Confessions of a Born Spectator. Today, we are going to study the rest of the poem as well as do the question answers related to the poem. So, it's Varinder Kaur Sekho, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Machli Kala, District, Mohali. Students, before we move on, I would like to ask you, did you practice the recitation? I gave you an assignment in the last session that you must practice the correct recitation of the poem if you want to enjoy poetry. Because poetry is studied not only for the sake of questions or answers, but to understand the beauty of the language, the music of the language, as well as learn some lessons also. So, we'll discuss what lesson we learned from this poem, and before that, let's move on with the rest of the poem. For the sake of those students who might have missed the last session, I would be revising the first part too, but in brief. So, let's move on. So, this is the poem, Confessions of a Born Spectator, written by Ogden Nash, and as the picture indicates, these are the spectators, darshak, जो विटनेस करते ने किसी गेम नो किसी भी कल्चर प्रोग्राम नो और it can be anything related to real life also. So, introduction to the poem. In the poem Confessions of a Born Spectator, Ogden Nash talks about how people choose different sports in their lives or decide to become athletes. While admiring the talent of athletes and sportsmen, the poet confesses that he is glad that he is neither a sportsman nor an athlete. Children have different aims and wish to play various games. Each child has something particular in mind, but the narrator is satisfied that he is not one of the players. Though the narrator admires the talent of all athletes, he derives satisfaction from watching them, but does not wish to exchange places with them. He also sometimes regrets that zealous athletes play rough games without caring for the feelings of their sporting rivals. The poet calls himself a born spectator. He loves to watch the players showing their mettle and winning prizes, but he does not want to be like them because he is afraid of getting hurt. In this poem, he makes fun of athletes and players in a light-hearted tone. He appreciates them to the full, but he is afraid of competing with them lest he should be physically hurt. So, let's enjoy the recitation of the poem once again, and this time you would also recite along with me wherever you are sitting. Please recite the poem with me. One infant grows up and becomes a jockey. Another plays basketball or hockey. This one the prize ring hates to enter. That one becomes a tackle or center. I'm just as glad can be that I'm not them and they are not me. With all my heart do I admire athletes who sweat for fun or hire, who take the field in gaudy pomp and maim each other as they roam. My limp and bashful spirit feeds on other people's heroic deeds. Now A runs 90 yards to score. B knocks the champion to the floor. C, risking vertebrae and spine, lashes his teeth across the line. You would think my ego it would please to swap positions with one of these. Well, ego might be pleased enough, but zealous athletes play so rough. They do not ever in their dealings consider one another's feelings. I am glad that when my struggle begins, twixt prudence and ego, prudence wins. when swollen eye meets gnarled fist, when snaps the knee and cracks the wrist, when calm officialdom demands, is there a doctor in the stands? My soul in true thanksgiving speaks for this most modest physiques. Athletes, I'll drink to you, or eat with you, or anything except compete with you. Buy tickets worth their weight in radium to watch you gamble in a stadium and reassure myself anew that you are not me and I am not you. The rhyme scheme is AA, BB, CC. So as discussed in the previous session also, this rhyme scheme means when the sound of the last sound of the last word of a line matches with the last sound of the last word of the next line. As in the above lines, fist and wrist are rhyming, demands and stands are rhyming, speaks and physiques are rhyming, you and you are rhyming, radium and stadium are rhyming, you are rhyming. So AA, two similar sounds, BB next to similar sounds, and CC next to similar sounds. This is the rhyme scheme. So let's once again read the explanation of these stanzas. So in the first stanza, the poet says that one child grows up and becomes a professional horse rider. Another child likes to play basketball or hockey. Yet another child hates to enter the boxing ring. That child likes to play rugby either as a tackle or a center. But the poet is as happy as he can be. He feels glad to think that he is not one of them, and they are also not like him. And in the stanza 2, the poet, the born spectator, declares that he admires all kinds of athletes. He praises both who play for fun and those who play to earn money. He also likes to see the players who enter the field wearing showy dresses. He continues to see them when they injure each other during their play in a noisy way. He further tells that his weak and shy spirit loves to feed on the heroic deeds of other people and be a spectator only. In the third stanza, the poet says that the player A, there are three imaginary players, player A runs 90 yards to score his victory. The player B registers his victory even over the champion. Another player C puts his spine in danger for the sake of victory. He lashes his horse so that he may cross the victory line. One has the right to think that the spectator's ego might like to change places with one of these players. Then the next stanza, the poet says that it is possible that his ego might be pleased to change places with some athlete. But the athletes play rough. They do not care for their opponents. They are self-centered and over-enthusiastic, which make them indifferent to the feelings of others. The born spectator claims that a struggle between his ego and prudence begins. He feels delighted that his prudence ultimately wins over his ego. So, the fifth stanza. In this stanza, the poet says that during the match of boxing, the hard clenched fist of one boxer hits at the swollen eye of the opponent boxer. In other games, the knees of players are broken and the wrists cracked. When it happens, the officials show no emotion and in a calm voice they ask if there is any doctor in the stands. The spectator finds himself unfit for such roughness and callousness. After seeing such indifference, the born spectator thanks God for keeping his weak body safe from such dangers. So students, we did the explanation up to here. Now we are going to analyze the last stanza. Athletes, I'll drink to you, or eat with you, or anything except compete with you. Buy tickets worth their weight in radium to watch you gamble in a stadium, and reassure myself anew that you are not me and I'm not you. So he's saying to the athletes, the poet who is afraid of getting injured, जिसनों की इसलिए स्पोर्ट्स ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਰਟਿਸਿਪੇਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਤੇ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਸੱਟ ਨਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਏ. ਪੋਇਮ ਦੇ ਐਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਉਹ ਐਥਲੀਟਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, I'll drink to you. Drink to you that means this poem is based on Western culture. So in the Western culture, when they pray for someone, they do a toast, take a drink in the hand and say to your health or to your victory or to anything that they wish. So it's not drink with you. Drink with you किसी दे नाल बैठ के drink करना. Drink to you किसी दे लिए toast करना, wish करना. So at least I'll drink to you or eat with you. मैं थोड़े नाल खाना भी खा सकदा, मैं थोड़े नाल toast भी करने को तैयार हाँ, but मैं थोड़े नाल compete नहीं करना, मुकाबला नहीं करना. Buy tickets worth their weight in radium. Radium is a very expensive metal. जिस तरह तुहानू सोने का पता है, सोना बहुत एक्सपेंसिव है, बट रेडियम उस तो भी बहुत ज़्यादा एक्सपेंसिव है. कि तुहाडी गेम देखने दे लई अगर रेडियम की कीमत विच टिकट लैनी पे तां भी मैं लैण नूं तैयार हाँ. मैं तुहाडा मैच जरूर देखांगा. टू वॉच यू प्लेइंग इन द स्टेडियम, एंड वैन यू आर प्लेइंग, जदों तुसीं खेड रहे होगे और खेडते हुए सट्टा भी खा रहे होगे, मैं अपने आप नूं तसल्ली देऊंगा. किस चीज़ दी? दैट यू आर नॉट मी एंड आई एम नॉट यू. कि शुक्र है तुसी मेरी जगह ते नहीं हो और मैं तुहाडी जगह ते नहीं हाँ. सो डू यू थिंक द पोइट इज वेरी सीरियस इन द पोइम? कि वो बहुत सीरियसली ये सब कुछ कह रहा है कि वो वाकई रेडियम दे रेट दी टिकट्स लेगा? डू यू थिंक सो? सच पोइम्स विच first let's read the explanation once again. In this stanza addressing athletes, the poet says that he will gladly drink for their health and also dine with them, but he will never compete with them in the playground, come what may. He is not ready to compete with them. In order to enjoy their game, he is ready to buy ticket worth their weight in radium, a very expensive metal. He would not like to change his place with any one of them. The poet is a determined spectator. He does not want to take any risk by becoming a sportsman. So students, whenever you study literature, it creates different kinds of feelings in you. Some piece of literature makes you sad, and sometimes a piece of literature creates humor. So this poem creates, there are many incidents which bring a smile on our face. Poet da कई बारी literal meaning नहीं हुंदा, शब्दां दे literal meanings नहीं जाइदा, कई बारी उस दे पिछे उस दी कुछ होर भावना हुंदी है. So there are many incidents here. Don't take it so seriously. It's a poem full of humor. हंसी दा भाव पैदा करदी है. Let's study the central idea of the poem. In the poem Confession of a Born Spectator, the poet calls himself a born spectator. He loves watching players showing their skill and winning prizes, but he does not want to be like them. He has a weak body and is afraid of getting hurt. In a light-hearted tone, he makes fun of athletes. So remember, in a light-hearted tone, he makes fun of athletes and players who do not consider the feelings of the opponent. He says that he can drink to their health and share food with them. However, he can't compete with them, lest he should be physically harmed. So the poem is full of humor. He doesn't actually mean what he is saying. Can you imagine during a match, a player thinks about the feelings of the others and loses the match? कि ਬਾਕਸਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਖਿਡਾਰੀ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਹਿੱਟ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਇਹ ਸੋਚੇਗਾ ਕਿ ਕਿਤੇ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਸੱਟ ਨਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਏ? ਇਜ਼ ਇਟ ਪੋਸੀਬਲ? नो। और कोई मैच है 99 ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੈਂਚਰੀ ਤੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਸਕੋਰ ਘੱਟ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਉਹ ਇਸ ਲਈ ਸਕੋਰ ਨਾ ਕਰੇ ਕਿ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਟੀਮ ਨੂੰ ਹਰਟ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਦੂਸਰੇ ਟੀਮ ਦੀਆਂ ਫੀਲਿੰਗਸ ਹਰਟ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ। नो। So the player is actually creating some humor in the poem that I don't play because the players do not consider the feelings of other, क्योंकि प्लेयर दूसरे दी भावनावां दा ध्यान नहीं रखते, इसलिए मैं खिडारी नहीं बनना चाहता, मैं एक स्पेक्टेटर हाँ। So it's a light-hearted poem which, as I told you just now, that every piece of literature creates a different kind of emotion when you read it. So this poem creates which emotion? Humor. So it brings a smile. If you understand the poem completely, you will not miss a smile on your face. What kind of reasons he is giving for not taking part in the matches. And look how he is concerned about his physique. कि किते मैनू सट ना लग जाए, किते मेरी बॉडी नू कोई हार्म ना हो जाए. This kind of excuses he is giving for not participating, but he is very honest also. He is confessing that these are my feelings, therefore I am a born spectator. So students, I hope you understood the poem completely well. Ready for some question answer session? Let's start. Who is the poet of the poem? Ogden Nash. For what reasons do the athletes sweat? Athletes किस लिए पसीना बहा रहे हैं? The athletes sweat for money or for pleasure. Two reasons given. Hire, word use किया सी, hire for money or for pleasure, fun. Why are athletes often rough during play? The athletes are often rough during play because everyone wants to win. What is the rhyme scheme in the poem? AA, BB, CC. Underline the alliterated words in the following lines. Alliterated words. Alliterated words. Alliteration nu samjho pehle. Alliteration means when the first sound of different words, more than one words, is the same. I repeat, when the first sound of more than one words is repeated in a sentence, it is called alliteration. और उस word में सी alliterated words करेंगे. So two lines given है, अब alliterated words लबने हैं. For this most modest physics, most m sound, modest m sound, most modest. These are examples of alliteration. They do not ever in their dealings. It's the, they and their. The is same, and do dealings. The sound is the same. So these are alliterated words. Read the poem and find some rhyming words. I have already given you the answers. Enter, center, jockey, hockey, admire, hire, pomp, romp, score, floor, please, these, fist, wrist, feeds, deeds, demands, stands, radium and stadium. Textual questions. What is the poet glad about? Poet खुश क्यों है? The poet is glad that he is neither an athlete nor a player and they are not like him. The poet admires the athletes. Give reasons for this admiration. क्यों इतना ज़्यादा उनका प्रशंसक है? उसका की कारण है? The poet admired the athletes for their heroic deeds. He admires them for their fighting spirit and strong determination. जितन दी जेडी उन्हां दे अंदर भावना है और दृढ़ निश्चय है, उस दे लिए उन्हां दा बहुत प्रशंसक है. उन्हां दी बहादुरी पूरन कमान दे लिए बहुत प्रशंसक है. Why does he call a spirit bashful? The poet calls the spirit bashful because he feels shy to take part in any game. Write a few lines on the struggle between poet's ego and prudence. The poet loves to watch heroic deeds of athletes, but his prudence tells him that if the game turns rough, he can be injured and disabled also. He is glad that in the struggle between his ego and prudence, his prudence wins over his ego. कि जदों संघर्ष शुरू हुंदा है उसकी समझदारी और उसकी हौमे दे विच जित हमेशा उसकी समझदारी दी हुंदी है, जिहड़ी उसनूं रोकदी है कि सट लग जाएगी तू ना खेड. List the things that the poet is ready to do for the athletes. The poet is ready to drink to the health of the athletes. उन्हां दी सेहत दे लई अच्छी दुआ करन नूं तैयार है. He can dine with them. उन्हां नाल खाना खा सकदा है. He can do anything for them. कुछ भी कर सकदा है. But he cannot compete with them. My limp and bashful spirit feeds on other people's heroic deeds. ये दो लाइन्स नूं रीड करन तो बाद आंसर देना है ऑप्शन A, B, C चो केड़ा करेक्ट है. What does the poet mean to convey in these lines? Select the proper option. Number 1, he is not sure of his own capabilities to perform such deeds. ਉਹਨੂੰ ਇਸ ਗੱਲ ਦਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਪਾਏਗਾ. He does not like to perform heroic deeds. उसनों पसंद नहीं है ये काम. He is scared of getting hurt while performing such deeds. वो डरदा है सट लगन तो. So students, before giving your answer, you have to concentrate on the two lines. ਤੁਹਾਡਾ आंसर केवल इन्हां दो lines ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ based ही होना चाहिए है. So here is your answer A. He is not sure of his own capabilities to perform such deeds. According to the above two lines, it is the answer. Now look at this line. Buy tickets worth their weight in radium. What is the correct answer? Correct option. The poet gives radium to buy tickets. The poet would buy anything, pay anything for buying tickets to watch the games. The poet does not buy ticket. And the correct answer is B. Next. Based on the two lines, I am glad that when my struggle twixt prudence and ego, prudence wins. The poet's ego urges him to show some heroism on the playfield. How often does he show it? He never shows any heroism on the playfield. He wants to remain a spectator always. Do you think he wants to show his heroism? No, he does not want to show his heroism. Write a short note on poet's struggle. The poet watches the heroic deeds of the athletes. Sometimes he wishes to be in place of a player. His ego urges him to be one of them. Then struggle between his ego and prudence begins. The prudence finally wins. What is he glad about? He is glad about the victory of prudence over ego. These two lines contain the theme of the poem. Explain. Man's ego urges him to do what he likes. His prudence asks him to do what is right. कि उसदी ईगो, उसदी हौमे जो वो चाहती है उस तो करवाना चाहती है, लेकिन प्रूडेंस उस तो वो करवाना चाहती है जो कि सही है, जो उसदी समझदारी नू ठीक लगता है. So students, these were some of the questions. This presentation was prepared by Mr. Siddharth Chandra, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary Smart School, Jungle, Pathankot, and I am the presenter of the lesson, Varinder Kaur Sekho, lecturer in English, Government Senior Secondary School, Machli Kalam. So let's revise the central idea once again. What is the central idea? In this poem, students, the spectator, the poet says that he is a spectator. He is a born spectator. और जन्म तो ही दर्शक है. उसने पूरी लाइफ कदे किसी गेम दे विच, किसी स्पोर्ट्स, किसी एथलैटिक्स दे विच पार्टिसिपेट नहीं किया, और इस गल नूं मन्नन नूं उसनूं कोई भी शर्म महसूस नहीं हो रही. अपनी कमी नूं मन्नना, स्वीकारना, ये भी एक तरीके दी बहादुरी है, ये भी एक तरीके दा हेरोइज्म है. The poet is confessing that he is a born spectator. He gives many examples of many children. बहुत सारे बच्चे the examples देते हैं. Some want to play hockey, some want to play basketball, some want to be an athlete, someone wants to be a horse rider. But he says that I do not want to be any of these. And I am very happy. मैं बहुत खुश हाँ कि ना तो मेरी जगह ते ने तो ना ही मैं उन्हां दी जगह ते हाँ, और इस गल दे विच उन्होंने कोई शर्म महसूस नहीं हो रही. अगे उन्होंने मेन रीजन की दिता. What reason did he give for not participating in anything? He said that I am afraid of getting hurt. मैनू सट लगन तो डर लगता है कि मेरी फिजिक बहुत वीक है, मैनू कोई सट ना लग जाए, मैनू इस चोट लगन तो डरदा है. Now I come back to the question that I discussed in the beginning. कि did you confess to yourself, those who are spectators, only spectators like the poet, did you confess to yourself why you are a spectator? If you confess to yourself honestly, then you would be able to overcome all your inhibitions, all your fears. So as I said in the beginning, poets जो show करते हैं actual उसका वो meaning नहीं हुंदा. You have to understand what the poet is trying to say in it. It's a light humor, creating some humorous situations. There were many humorous situations like not considering each other's feelings. It's a kind of humor. You cannot consider each other's feeling when you're playing on the field. It's a humorous situation. But overall, the message to you students, the youngsters, is don't be spectators in your life. If you give such reasons for not participating in anything in your life, then you would also be a spectator and you would miss all the fun, all the thrill of the life. And the games here are not only the games on the field, students, these are the games of life. So my parting message to you all is, do not be only a spectator in life. Participate in every sport, in field or in life, and enjoy the thrill. Don't be afraid of getting hurt. That is the message. Revise the poem, write all the question answers in your copy. Enjoy poetry. Poetry reforms you. Thank you and have a good day.